All right, a new update on Hurricane Melissa. The storm made landfall in southeastern Cuba a short time ago with winds of 120 miles per hour. That makes it a major Category 3 hurricane. There was vast flooding outside and inside. Now, the island could get up to 25 inches of rain. That's in addition to potential storm surge of up to 12 feet and the threat of landslides. CNN Savannah Bureau Chief Patrick Oppmann is in Santiago de Cuba. Patrick, I want to warn people that communications are tough because you're in the middle of a hurricane, but it's worth it because of the view you have and the experiences you're having. Tell us what you're seeing and feeling right now.
Yeah, technical issues may be my new nickname today, but we continue to feel hurricane force winds, and the amazing thing about that is it's been going on now for about 12 hours, all night long. The building, which is a thick cement wall building where we've been sleeping in, has been getting rocked by these winds. We've been hearing roofs being torn off. We've been hearing people yelling in the night, trees going down, and you get a break, and then all of a sudden the winds come back through again. Pounding rain, John, and that is really dangerous in a mountainous region like where we are. And so it just continues to just beat us up. And you wonder about the people around us in the city who do not have housing that's as sturdy as where we are, how they are holding up. Hundreds of thousands of people have evacuated here, have gone to higher ground. But the storm, it's slow moving. It remains very, very powerful. It's going to be crossing Cuba all day today, and it'll just be kicking the hell out of this country, a country that does not have very strong infrastructure, a country that is already, dealing with major economic problems. We've been in blackouts pretty much the entire time since we've been here, and nobody has power anywhere near us at this point. So very tough situation, and it will continue throughout the day today, and perhaps later we'll get a sense of the damage that's been done. But at this point, it's just not safe to go outside. There's a curfew. You're not supposed to go outside, and that's probably wise because you can still get a wind gust. It can still pick up a piece of roof, and that just becomes shrapnel. So we are hunkering down, and that is what people continue to do here, just to stay safe.
We can hear the wind, and you're inside, and I can see the wind pushing against your face, Patrick. That's how powerful this storm is. I know that big cement building you're in is a godsend. Unlike in Jamaica, where they had trouble moving people into shelters, tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people in Cuba did respond to authorities and move to safer ground?
Yes, when authorities tell you to do something here, it's not really an option. And so particularly, we saw some islands off the coast where people live. They were evacuated. There were a couple of holdouts there. I hope those people left, considering what they must have gone through. But by and large, the government comes, they come with buses, and they tell people to leave, and people leave. They know how bad a hurricane is. I'm not sure many people have ever gone through a hurricane as bad as this one, though.
No, this one just slicing through the island where you are right now. Patrick Oppmann, to you and your team in shelter right now. Stay safe. When you can, go get a look around. We appreciate all this reporting you are doing. Thank you.
Let's go now to CNN's Chris Warren in the Weather Center for the latest forecast for us. But I do want to show you just quickly a couple of photos we just got in from one of the residents who is in Jamaica. We are trying to get in touch with her. As you know, the communications there are difficult, but this is from Andrea Lee taking pictures of what looks like outside of her home, a bunch of trees down where she is on the northwestern side of the island. There is expected to be extensive, catastrophic damage on the western side of the island where the hurricane came through and the eye hit. We will talk to her hopefully in a bit once we establish communications with her, but let's go back now to our fantastic meteorologist. First of all, give us some sense of where this storm is, what its power is at this point in time this morning.
Sarah, right now it is in eastern Cuba, so it has left Jamaica and now in eastern Cuba, and it is weakening the island itself, helping to disrupt the circulation of the storm. And the fuel that these hurricanes need is the water, and so being over land helps to weaken them. Then the terrain also helps to weaken the storm, but still 105 mile per hour sustained hurricane, a Category 2 hurricane. It's picking up speed now, so that is something we look for and hope for when we're talking about the rain threat. But the winds are still up there, north-northeast at 14 miles an hour. Zooming in a bit, you can see the brighter colors associated with the bigger parts of the storms, more capable of dropping a lot more rain and producing some of the stronger winds. Where it's going next, it's heading to the Bahamas. By early this afternoon, the center of the hurricane will be back over water. And then the speed, again, the faster it goes, the less time it has to drop more rain. But there's still, with these tropical systems, going to be enough of that heavy rain to produce some flooding. Up to 120-mile-an-hour winds, still a possibility for parts of the Bahamas. And here, even late tonight, going into the overnight hours, still dealing with the effects in terms of the wind. As far as the rain goes, the red, the orange, that's some of the heaviest rainfall that we're going to be seeing. And eventually, it will kick out of here. Now, as we look at the amount of rain, you see the red in here. That's 6 inches, 10 inches. If that happens in a short period of time, there will be some flash flooding. Also, the winds themselves can push water, the seawater, up and into some of these areas. And where this all began here, a rapidly intensifying storm. And as we saw, making that turn Category 5 and making landfall right here in Sarah, we do know that there's likely to be a lot of devastation with this. And now that we're seeing the day after with the daylight, we're likely to learn a lot more going forward.
Yeah, and as we said, communication's hard there right now, and I know our crews are also heading to that area to see just how bad it is. Chris Warren, I thank you so much for giving us the very latest on the storm.